There is a harsh truth that we all must face in life, and that is we are on our own, and nobody's gonna come and sweep us off our feet and just make everything better. There is no knight in shining armor that's going to pull you out of whatever rut you are in. As we go through school and everything, we are kind of given this very distinct structure. Okay, get up at this time, go to school for this amount of time, come home at this time, and then do homework and do it all over again. And this repeats day in, day out. There's a strict schedule. You know what is expected of you, etc., etc. And for a very long time, we are used to this structure. We are used to having this sort of guidance in our lives until eventually we grow up and that guidance is no more. There is no teacher you can go to and say, hey, I'm struggling with this thing. Like, can you help? No, that's just not the way it is when we grow up. And a lot of that security we end up developing in ourselves of, well, I have someone there. It's just no longer. It's not there anymore. And then we start doubting ourselves and our ability to do things. That security ends up kind of being our curse because we develop this sense of that security that we'll always have someone there for us or someone to bail us out if something bad were to happen, or believing, oh yeah, I always have a job or whatever it is. That security is a lie. That security is an illusion because at the end of the day, we are on our own. The fact of the matter is, even the bestest best friends we could ever make in something like high school or in our small town, they have to live their own lives, and they're not always going to be there for you, no matter what they may have promised to you. Everyone just kind of goes their own path, and you do as well. We have to figure out our own lives. We got to figure out how we're going to pay our own bills and what career we want to work at. It's all on us to make the magic work, so to speak. There's no one that's going to do it for us. And let's face it, life happens. There are situations that pop up that can cause us great stress and potentially great financial harm. Something breaks down, whatever it may be, like your vehicle. There isn't anyone who's just going to come in and, oh, here's a brand new car. No, you got to figure out how to fix that on your own. You have to figure out how either the vehicle works and what's causing it to break down, or you got to hire someone to do that for you. It's in these harsh moments that we really learn just how alone we are. But that isn't necessarily a bad thing. By not depending on everyone else to give you your guidance in life or help solve whatever problem is you're facing, you end up strengthening yourself by figuring it out on your own. You will find solutions to the problem that you never would have thought of, say, a few years ago. But you would figure them out now because you know, I got to figure this out. You are forcing yourself in a position where you don't have an option. You got to do it. And you will be so surprised, so amazed of what you can come up with. But this doesn't just apply to potential problems you may have in the future. It's also your own ambitions. Maybe there's something you genuinely really want to do, whatever that thing is. You need to do it. And it needs to be what you want to do. You should never start something in this mindset of, I have all these people who are going to help me do it. Because let me tell you something. There are way more fair weather friends and people out there than you probably even realize. And what I mean by fair weather, it's the whole fair weather friends of, yeah, they'll be there for you, but it's usually when they want something or maybe they just want to hang out. But when, stuff hits the fan, they're not there for you. Or if you're expecting them to support you in whatever the thing you're trying to do, they just are suddenly unavailable. And not only are you not really going to have the support network that you think you might have, they are also not going to do the work for you. And at the end of the day, a lot of times people don't really care. You could tell them, I have a brand new YouTube channel, or I'm writing a book, would you read it? And they are just not really going to care. They'll just be like, oh, that's nice, sweetie, sort of thing. And all they can really think about is what they're doing for dinner or something like that. They don't really care. And I know that really hurts. I know that sounds harsh, but that is the reality. Most people just don't care. And maybe it's not anything truly malicious because there are very toxic people in the world as well. And that toxicity, as we probably mostly face like online, or let's say you work a retail job, you're going to be faced with people who are very self important and think you should drop everything at a dime for them, regardless if they have deserved it or not. These people are also the first to say, you can't do that, or there's no point in doing that because it's a waste of time, a waste of energy. That didn't work out for me, so you shouldn't do it. These very toxic mindsets just end up plaguing you because their voices, those lines, just kind of get put on repeat in your brain over and over again, and that self-doubt just builds inside you, and then you end up never doing the thing you wanted to do in the first place. And ultimately, when you have this sense of the people that you generally want in your life, the people, your loved ones, aren't really there supporting you, you also have these people outside of said circle, or maybe they're also in your circle as well, that are telling you not to do this thing because they believe it's a waste of time. All of that you absorb like a sponge, and you develop all this doubt within you, and it holds you back from everything you want to do in your life. And that's what I mean by you can't depend on others for your pathing in life, or to give you the motivation you need to get wherever you want to be in life, because at the end of the day, you are the one who has to do all the work. You have to put in the hours, you have to have the sleepless nights to get where you want to be. No one is going to come in and pick you up and be like, there you go, here's the thing you want. It's all up to you, and only you. You are in control of your life. You have the agency. Let me give you an example. Let's say you want to start a gaming channel on YouTube. You really want to be a let's play all these games. Maybe you have a particular genre you're interested in, like, I don't know, let's say horror games for something simple. You could tell everyone you know about it, and maybe some of them may subscribe just to kind of support you, but are they really there to help your channel grow? Are they talking to other people about it? Are they liking and commenting? They might do the absolute bare minimum, but that's never going to give you the numbers and all that you want to achieve, because I'm assuming in this scenario, you want to have a successful channel, you want to get monetized, you want to make that your 9 to 5, so to speak. Well, you need to find people that are interested in that very thing that you want to do. You need to find like-minded individuals, and the vast majority of the people in our lives just don't care. They'll be like, oh, that's cool, but that's all that is. They might do the most bare minimum and subscribe or something like that, but they're not actually going to watch your content. They're not actually going to help you grow because, again, they don't really care. They just kind of want to do their own thing. Or you might end up getting some weird passive-aggressive comments of, oh, well, you're going to deal with all this bad stuff if you do that. You sure you want to do that? You see what I mean? That's not to say that they have any malicious intent or want to see you fail. There are definitely people who are like that in all our lives who just don't want us to succeed. But the vast majority of the time, people are just kind of wrapped up in their own stuff. A lot of people got a lot of stuff going on, whether it's just, a financial situation or their family or something like that. No one can be there for everyone. And again, at the end of the day, you have to create that content. You have to edit that content or find an editor to help you edit that said content. But these people aren't going to go above and beyond for you. And you need to really prepare for that mentally and emotionally, that they're not going to be there for you. And I know the idea that you're all alone in this endeavor is very scary, but it also means that you are in control of everything. Whether it happens or not is ultimately up to you. When you make it about yourself, when you do this because you want to, it changes the entire game. It changes the pieces on the board. It turns into, what can you do? Not what someone else told you. What can you do? It's not about what others think. It's about what you think, what you feel, and what you can achieve. And doing all that work is quite hard, and unfortunately requires a lot of sacrifices. The sacrifices could be as little as, okay, you decide not to go out partying with your friends because you'd rather save that money to eventually, say, buy a brand new microphone. Those are sacrifices you have to make. If you really want to achieve that financial freedom or achieve whatever big goal you have, you got to make sacrifices. And for a little while, it's going to feel very lonely because you're going to feel like you're a hermit in your room trying to figure out how to make all this work. You're studying the analytics or whatever it is. And it's going to be like, wow, there's like no one I can really talk to about this, but that is the way it's got to be. That's why those sacrifices are important, because those sacrifices mean that you can spend more time investing in yourself, investing in your skills, doing the research, doing the homework, so to speak, so you can achieve those goals. You are the master of your life. And I know there are things that happen outside our control. For instance, you're working a job and something happens in the last quarter where that company's shareholders or whatever are saying, okay, all of you need to cut, say, 15% of your workforce. You could end up being on that list of the cuts. And when that happens, that's when everything really hits the fan, because now it's like, where is my income? What do I do? And when something like that happens, you have to figure it out on your own. I mean, yeah, there might be some temporary job you could pick up, but there's no guarantee that will work out either. And that's what I mean by a lot of times we are on our own for a lot of things. Even if you don't plan on having like a YouTube channel or anything like that, this is a moment where you are on your own and you got to figure out where you're going to go, how you're going to make your bills and all that on your own. You can't go into it thinking I'm going to have someone come in to help me. Having a support network is obviously very important, but I believe it's also very important to develop as much as you can your own independence to achieve everything you want to do in life and to prepare for eventual disasters that may happen to you. Because again, there is no one there that's going to pull you out of the gutter, so to speak. No matter what, remember that you are the master of your fate. You can achieve these goals you want to make. And I know it might suck a bit feeling that you can't depend on your group of friends or your family to help you, but you can do it. You can achieve those. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of time, but you can do it. And don't let anyone tell you different. You can do it. Remember to be kind to yourself and celebrate your wins, no matter how small, because those little wins do help us get through the bad, rough patches we go through. I believe in you. Even if no one else does, I believe in you. Take care, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. If you found this content entertaining, consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel, as it helps me grow on this platform. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good day.